they're running.
And Matthews into the fast break. Great handle by Purnell. He'll sting that low right corner.
Alley lines as well. Now the ball is scrambling here, and Kahn comes up with a huge save early on.
Barrett right back to Gaffney. Now Helton step down, shot finds the corner.
They have numbers. Matthews, Kaliza, down to Purnell. Purnell back to the middle. Matthews picks the far side. Textbook fast break by the Bulldogs.
And welcome to Bedford High School here in Bedford, New Hampshire, where we will have this afternoon's boys varsity lacrosse game as the Bedford Bulldogs will play host to the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger, joined in the booth today by Jay Abendroth on a beautiful spring afternoon here, Thursday, May 1st. May Day. We're ready for some great lacrosse action in what could be one of the best regular season games of this New Hampshire Division I schedule this year. Jay, what are your thoughts on what we should see here?
Yeah, it's always good when these two teams come together. You see some of the talent across New Hampshire come together. It's a bit of a litmus test as well to see. I know both have had some extensive Massachusetts talent and in games, and we've been able to see them, fare so-so against that other talent. But here they come back into conference. Seeing who is number one or number two is important for this early in the year to figure out what you have to go work on to get to that championship game.
Absolutely. Still somewhat early in the season. Bedford comes in with a 4-2 record, about a third of the way through their schedule. Started off strong with wins at Dover and against Exeter. That was a pretty good match that we were expecting to be a little bit closer. They lost at Hingham, beats Nashua South, and then lost to Longmeadow, who visited here last Wednesday, a traditional powerhouse in Massachusetts. Bounced back from that against Windham with an 18-3 win. Bishop Guertin comes in with a 4-1 record. They lost their season opener to St. John's Prep, as you mentioned, that out-of-state contest. They lost that tilt 13-5, and then have won 4 straight against New Hampshire foes. They do have some of those additional out-of-state games coming up later in their schedule to play at Staples. They'll host Boston College High School and then play against Zverian Brothers. They also have games at Darien, Connecticut, a little bit of a hike from them. And then they'll play Acton Boxborough a little bit later in their season. But they, of course, will have plenty of games on their schedule to qualify for New Hampshire playoffs. And again, likely a good playoff matchup that we're previewing here just a third of the way through the season.
Now let's meet today's starting lineups.
Starting lineups are being announced here. Again, Bedford hosting the Bishop Guertin Cardinals. They have their white uniforms on, red lettering, black helmets. Bishop Guertin with their visiting green uniforms, tops and bottoms, yellow numbering and lettering.
Number 8, Colin Foley.
Should be an absolutely gorgeous afternoon for this lacrosse game.
Andre Steinbruick. Starting attack,
the Bulldogs again have Westford as their next opponent. They'll play them on Saturday at 12:30. Again, another out-of-state foe. Should be an interesting one. And then they will host Andover next Friday night. We'll bring you that action right here from Bedford High School. That's a 7 p.m. face-off for the Bulldogs. And then they'll get kind of into the meat of their New Hampshire schedule, playing Nashua North, Exeter, Salem, Merrimack, Londonderry, the Memorial Manchester Manchester Central combined team, Keene-Monadnock, and then they'll close out their season against Pinkerton.
For the Bedford High School Bulldogs.
Standings right now in Division I, Pinkerton leading the way at 6-0. They have had somewhat of a lighter schedule to start out, but they have handled their business correctly. Bishop Guertin with 4-1 record. They are in second place, and Bedford comes in third in Division I at that 4-2. Merrimack, got to give a little shout out to them. 4-3 record to start their season. They've had some close ones and some good wins. They are number 5 behind Londonderry, who is 3-2. So that rounds out your top 5 in Division I lacrosse action this spring. some good action, a lot of parity, a couple of teams having a rough season, but it's nice to see, again, like I said, some of that parity where you're getting some upsets, some close scores that you may or may not expect, and an evening of that talent across a lot of the teams here. Coach Gaudreau, again, manning the sideline, a new head coach for the Bishop Guertin Cardinals as Brian Cameron has taken over head coaching. We will take a moment for the national anthem and join you on the other side for lacrosse action here from Bedford High School.
BCTV and WBNH thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business. PrimaryBankNH.com. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing care to help meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Great New Hampshire restaurants. Food tastes better with family. Tbones.com or CopperDoor.com.
And we are back and just about ready for face-off here. Again, an absolutely gorgeous afternoon. High 70s, maybe low 80s here in Bedford, New Hampshire. Nice cool breeze, keeping it such a beautiful temperature. Perfect for this spring tilt. Our officials this afternoon, Tim McCaffrey, Dennis Mellinson, Brian Murphy, and Roland St. Germain. I only see 3 out there. I have 4 on my list. I don't know about you, Jay. I'm not sure we need a whole pack of zebras, but we're good to go. McCaffrey, one of the legends in New Hampshire. From an officiating standpoint, he does a lot of the old man games in the summertime. We see him frequently out there. Really nice guy. We see Brian Murphy out there quite a bit too. Very knowledgeable about the sport, and it's great to see them out here for this high school game. Again, we're watching this afternoon on BCTV Channel 8 and 1072. We're also streaming out to Nashua through ETV 22 and HD 1073, so we welcome in all of our Nashua viewers as well. Goalies touch gloves at midfield. Traditional shaking of hands, and the teams are taking their positions, and we're just about ready to go. Dylan Riccio will face off for the Bulldogs. He will take on Vasquez, if you remember Vasquez from last year. Dominant at that face-off X. Both very good face-off players, and we're underway. Riccio, despite me giving props to Vasquez, wins the face-off for the Bulldogs, and will trot over, steps it into the box, and we're underway.
Yeah, really nice win off the bat by Riccio. Vasquez has been pretty much as dominant as you can get at the face-off X in the last couple seasons, so good for Bedford to get that first ball, first possession. Always gets a little bit of the jitters out as well early.
Matthews draws the long pull. That was Andreas Steinbreck. They'll work it around now, fire it behind. Durso behind to Purnell. Luke Purnell drives hard righty, gets the high side, draws double, triple, gets checked on the shot from a midi helping down. Nice check from the backside, but the Bulldogs are there to back it up. That's John Purnell behind. Purnell drives hard lefty, gets the edge, gets some space, save, no, that's a goal, that's in. And Purnell puts the Bulldogs up 1-0. Nice hard drive lefty, got some space, got his hands free, was able to bury the bounce shot. Past goalie Jonah Feliciano.
Yeah, we saw 2 really strong drives by both the Purnell brothers, the last one ending up in a goal. We see there, the slide came, but it came late. Purnell was able to body it, then get his hands free and put it home. BG's got to figure that out. On both instances, they didn't bring the slide early enough, and that could hurt them later on in the game.
Something to watch there as they depend on their man-to-man defense. Vasquez wins the face-off for the Cardinals. He'll step it in and settle. Just over a minute gone. The Bulldogs lead 1-0 here early in this first quarter as the Cardinals make their offensive substitutions at the midfield. Bo Dubois across the top here. Here's Camden Hayden. Stop and start here. Now it's back over to DuBois. Drives hard, loses it, fires lefty, scores.
Yeah, really nice move by DuBois. Actually Helton got him on the back check there, but it's a little bit of a home run check, and when DuBois was able to pick it up, he had no one on him, hands free. It's a really nice shot from outside from that midi.
So the Cardinals tie it up quickly, just about 30 seconds later. Purnell with the opening goal. That's John Purnell for the Bulldogs, and DuBois comes right back. Now Vasquez wins another faceoff, but tosses it out of bounds. Great job by Riccio trailing that play, getting a check in late as Vasquez was trying to pass it off to an attackman. Clearing it out now, we have Ethan Kahn. Got that pass from Will Frangelo. Now it's intercepted here by the Cardinals, stepping into that passing lane. Trying to scoop and score there, Owen King, but nice save by Kahn. Helton stepped into that passing lane. Now they bring the body. But the Cardinals come out of the scrum with the ball and the possession. They'll settle things down.
Yeah, that's going to be a key thing to watch here as we go through the game, both riding and clearing for both teams. There, Guertin able to extend the pressure and get a free possession, which would otherwise have been down in their defensive end. So nice hustle from their side.
And that was Tyler McLeod, the long stick midi, all the way down in that offensive area for the Cardinals, putting pressure on that ride. And as you mentioned, got another possession for the Cardinals. Slide here, nice second slide by Colby Boyd, getting a stick on Camden Hayden. Lefty shot goes wide, and Bishop Guertin backs it up behind. 1-1 is your score early going in the first. Hayden looks to drive, settles, good position by Boyd. Now they fire it behind. Frangelo and Boyd trying to play defense on that pick and roll. Here's King. King gets high, dumps it in the middle. Second slide is too late, and it's an easy goal for Cam Hayden. Cam Hayden from Owen King. Pretty basic lacrosse there. Draw the slide, pass to the guy that's open on the crease, and dump it in. Nice execution there by the Cardinals, and they go up 2-1.
Yeah, really nice stick handling, like you said, relatively basic, draw and dump, and Bedford was a bit slow to react. I'm noticing too, Corey, as you get into these types of games, it's not just about the talent, it's about the speed as well. And you can see the speed impact as we see here another face-off win. Game comes at you quick sometimes.
Sure does. Vasquez, 2 for 3 now. Probably could keep stats on that, and by the end it would be 90%, but we don't have any statisticians here, and I'm not that fast, so I can't do it all.
I'm useless, so.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to say that on the air, but.
I appreciate that.
Owen King now lines up lefty, draws the switch. Riccio on the defensive end here. Nice job keeping King out. Time and space for the step down. Shot goes wide by Hudson Schmidt. Far side for Sean McGarry. He lines up Will Frangelo. Gets high side, but coming on the slide there, Riccio does a nice job to help out. Now McGarry will regroup. Righty pulls the trigger. Sneaks it by Kahn, 3-1. The Cardinals are up.
Yeah, as we see on the replay, a really nice move there to get his hands free, but look at this shot from only a few, maybe 5 yards north of goal line extended. Was able to sneak it in, as you said, really low angle shot, but got through onto Kahn. I'll tell you, Corey, as we look at this, I don't think BG is going to run out of players. I think they've got 152 on their sidelines. And but I'll tell you, joking around, that's something that in a game like this, you're able to keep fresh and keep running. We'll see how that plays into the overall game plan.
Nice job by Riccio to win the face. Little BTB to try to connect with his long stick midfielder. Misses, but they chase it down. Teddy LaPointe was there for the ground ball. And the Bulldogs will be back on the offensive end. Durso, bouncer, score. Durso just found himself free with about 7 or 8 yards from the cage. Nice feed from behind. I believe it was Purnell And Durso finishes 3-2.
Bedford goal by number 11, Bryce Durso.
Yeah, I think you're right. Durso found himself very wide open.
John Purnell.
Not often you get that type for a shooter, but he was able to put it away. And I think here we go really quickly. Let's stop with this shot. Durso, you don't see anybody within 5-7 yards of him. Perhaps Guertin got caught up on some of the transition and substitution. A quick wrinkle here. We see Teddy LaPointe taking a face off the long pole for Bedford.
Scrapping. Nice job. Good adjustment by Coach Gaudreau to prevent any of his fast breaks. Good hustle from the backside, but amazingly keeping it in his stick was Hunter Duaney. Nice job by the midfielder to absorb that contact, keep possession, and get it to his attackman teammate. Here's Hayden again for the Cardinals up top. The lefty now will draw the long stick midfielder. Fires it behind. Slow slides again. Rounding the corner, lefty, save Kahn. King can't slip it under Kahn as he gets down there and makes the save. Good one there for Kahn and good one there for the Bulldogs. Near side, that's Brian Riccio helping with the clear. Now Kahn misses the pass in the midfield, but scooping up Bryce Durso, cleaning up the mess. Now Purnell to Purnell. Top side here. Shot save. Capello tried to beat him high. Couldn't get it, but the scramble ensues, and Bennett Matthews will pick up the ground ball. Tosses off to Brody Help. The two dominant midfielders for the Bedford Bulldogs. Help has now drawn the short stick midfielder in Cam Hayden.
I think Hayden usually being an attackman, so they got a bit of a mismatch here, shorty on shorty.
Help to Matthews. Matthews, goal. Quick answer there. Nice job, nice quick hands. Good finish with a quick shot. Matthews gets it high above Feliciano. Little swim move there on the aggressive defense, and he buries. 3-3, 5:55 to go here in the first quarter.
Matthews.
Yeah, really nice. And again, BG slow to move. As we see the previous play, we see Capello going, nice shot, stick side high, actually surprises the goalie, the ball in his stick. But as Helton came through and had this assist, was able to get it dumped down and no slide from BG.
Vasquez wins the face, trail check, gets the ball on the carpet. The Bulldogs escape one there. Kahn will lead the clear. He'll trot it up. Drop ride by the Cardinals. Little loopy pass. Here's Boyd looking for answers. Bounce pass. Gets tipped by the Cardinals. No, it does not. Looks like it was tipped by John Purnell and goes out of bounds. So pressure ride somewhat as the Cardinals stacking up that midfield looking for either the failure to advance or the turnover. This time they get the turnover. Here's Ponto for the Cardinals, Michael Ponto, senior. We'll start things off. He's listed as an attackman here on the program. Just under 5 minutes ago here in the first quarter. 3-3 is your score. Nice defense there by Mr. Trevor Abendroth with a short stick in his hand, then gets beat high side. Ponto regroups, spins away from pressure, gets high side, and finds the lower right corner. 4-3 Bishop Guertin.
BG goal by number 14.
Yeah, again, a little bit of a low angle shot. Ponto on the one-on-one. It's kind of funny on both sides. Both teams here have some really interesting matchups, and there are definite favorites on either side going back and forth. You would think there would be a lot quicker slide package going in, and something perhaps the coaches adjust to here.
And varied slides too. You might think, you know, every once in a while just go adjacent or just go early, super early, especially when you get those matchups, those dangerous offensive players that you know you want that ball moving from their stick. We count down to 4:30 here in the first quarter. 4-3, the Cardinals lead over the Bulldogs in this first quarter. Here's Ponto again. Looks for the matchup this time on Dylan Riccio. Gets high side. Off the pipe, his bouncer beats Kahn, but doesn't beat the cage. Scramble for the loose ball. We're going to get an infraction. Wasn't quite sure what that was. Possibly a loose ball push. Kahn fires one deep, one bounce. It finds the stick of Luke Purnell. Now transition in the middle. Matthews gets stuck, takes on two, shoots as he falls and scores.
Wow. That turn from a really dire situation. Matthews, just a big, strong boy, takes it head on and through two defenders and a stick on stick, gets it through the wickets.
That was amazing. I mean, Steinbreck for the Cardinals checks him from behind, gets stick on stick, and somehow Matthews keeps it in his stick, gets the shot off, and scores. As you said, big, strong kid. And Bennett Matthews with an exceptional play there. Went for the highlight reel for sure. His second of the game. And the Cardinals with Vasquez at the faceoff X get another possession. 3:40 to go here in the first quarter. 4-4. Score is knotted. Fired around the top and it finds its way to Beau Dubois. Weaves in and out, dodges two, looks for a friend. Finds it up top with Ponto. Again, he's getting these short stick matchups, but he's listed as an attackman, so those midfielders love when they get the short stick D. Great trail check here. Help, stayed with it. Now they're bringing the body, I believe. That was Santos there. Feed into the middle, getting wide open and sticking hands free. Number 4, Sean McGarry. Nice feed from behind and a nice finish by McGarry.
And as you see this, a little bit of an unsettled situation, really great handle from McGarry. Defenders were there, brought the body, but he's just a great individual play to be able to collect it and score.
McGarry's second on the day. Gives the Cardinals a 1-goal advantage again. 5-4, 3:04 left in the first quarter as Riccio moves early and Vasquez will get another possession for the Cardinals. Takes the shot, little underhand scooper. We're gonna get a late hit here, I believe, as Vasquez's helmet fell off after a hit. We'll see who goes to the sin bin and feels shame. It looks like it'll be Helton. .257 to go here in the first quarter. We'll get our first penalty and a look at the Bishop Guertin Cardinals man-up offense here. Looks like they might start in a 1-4-1, a little staggered right now. They spin it around. From behind, they look for cutters. Coming off the crease was King. Now up high, Dubois. Spin it all the way around far side to McGarry. Trying to get sticks on hands. Nice check there by LaPointe. Got it on the carpet. Gives the defense a moment's rest. Sneaking from behind. Nice save by Kahn. Hayden with the lefty. Got high of goal line extended. Hands free. Got the shot off. Now here's Riccio. Little dump into the offensive end. Here's Matthews now. Matthews, great feed in front. Little backhander, Luke Purnell. And they tie it up again. 5-5, Purnell from Matthews. Luke Purnell getting free on a nice back cut there. A lot of time and space and just one-on-one. Nice little backhand shot there from 2 yards away.
Number 3.
Finds the back of the net.
Yeah, and we see BG getting caught with Connor with a nice save there on the replay. Bedford did a great job on that defense, waiting for BG to make a move, and they really didn't. But here we go. We see actually Bedford is man down during this and still had Luke Purnell on the doorstep all alone. So BG, a little bit of a mix-up. Nice find by Matthews to Purnell.
5-5, 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. There's Duaney. They get it behind. Ponto now. Back up top. Into the stick of Dubois. Matthews will track him. Now they fire it behind. King. Frangillo measures him. They switch. Santos bringing the lumber. Back up top now. Shot, save, Kahn. Time and space for Dubois, but he didn't do a lot with that shot. Kahn eats it up on the bouncer from about 15 yards. They try for the long pass to Helton coming out of the box, and they turn it over again. Ponto looks for answers, finds 1, 2, 3, and they tic-tac-toe, and King has a goal on the doorstep, all off the failed clear.
Yeah, and really nice finds here. Got a little bit on the edge, Ponto, but they were able to, BG was able to go tic-tac-toe and have the one-on-one and find the open man. Yeah, this is going to be a tough task for the Bedford team to correct this. They're really trying to get the middies down, get the ball out of Kahn's hands and into theirs. But BG's not even pulling out their goalie and doing a 10-man ride, so they're able to go man-to-man and still kind of make it feel like it's everybody's covered. So BG's doing a nice job on the ride. We'll see how Bedford can react.
Speed and athleticism, you mentioned that speed earlier on, paying dividends here specifically on the ride. Little late hit there on Bishop Guertin. That'll draw the flag, and the Bulldogs will go on the extra man opportunity here for the first time this afternoon. They'll give the assist to McGarry, I believe, on that last goal for Bishop Guertin. He has 2-1, King with 1-1. And the Cardinals up by 1. As the Bulldogs look to even the score with 48 seconds left here in the first quarter. They have the extra man. Matthews, Durso, Purnell, Helton. They're going to look to get Matthews open. He's going to take a trip around the crease, come from the backside. Nicely designed play. Got a little bit of space there, but he couldn't quite squeeze it on the pass. Defending was John Paul Dunsmore on that backside coming off the crease. Matthews feeds inside. Purnell's shot gets eaten up down low. Looked like that was Dunsmore that got a stick on it before it even reached Feliciano. And he's a one-man clear as he outruns everybody. And now Bishop Guertin will settle things down. Just under 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. They'll run out the clock on this last 2 seconds of the first quarter. Ponto with possession will keep it. And after 1, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals visiting here at Bedford High School. They lead by 1. Quite a first quarter of action. Jay, thoughts on what we've seen so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely high-level lacrosse. We've seen some really nice individual plays and team plays. I'm impressed with both teams man down. We saw Bishop Guertin be a lot more active there than they have in the even defense. And so I think we've seen some good team D, good team-O. The two big things for me is the face-off X. How does Bedford stymie that train? And then also the clears. It's really been a sore spot, and they're giving away a few too many possessions, and that's hard on your defense, especially when you're rotating in only a few folks. It gets to be a little bit demoralizing, but we're not demoralized yet. It's 6-5. It's a great game. A couple things to work on, but I'm really excited about what the next 3 quarters have to show.
Yeah, 2 keys I can't agree with you more. Those face-offs, and Coach Gaudreau is making some changes there, trying to get LaPointe out there on the face-off, just making it a bit more difficult for Vasquez. Instead of pushing forward and getting an odd man every single time, you're trying to neutralize that a bit. So we'll continue to see how that plays out at the X, and certainly that athleticism is helping them with that ride. We've seen that sticks can be a little bit shaky coming out of that back end, and Bishop Guertin is trying to take advantage of that. We do want to say a quick thank you to our underwriters. We at BCTV and WBNH would like to thank them for supporting our live sports coverage. Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Great New Hampshire Restaurants, T-Bones and the Copper Door. Appreciate them and their underwriting of our programs here. Couple of quick things for next broadcast. We do have, as I mentioned before, the boys lacrosse team taking on Andover. That's Andover, Massachusetts, the Golden Warriors, next Friday evening, 7 p.m. Bringing that broadcast again here on BCTV. The girls lacrosse program will be broadcast tomorrow, courtesy of Nashua ETV. That's a 3 p.m. draw. Notice I said draw there, Jay.
I like that.
Draw. Yeah, you got to get the right terminology in
Good
there.
awareness.
Absolutely. We will not be able to bring that to you with our BCTV crew, but our friends down in Nashua will bring that live game for you as the girls team heads to the Cardinals. Baseball will be taking on the Salem Blue Devils next Wednesday, the 14th. Actually, that's 2 Wednesdays from now. That's a 4:30 first pitch. And you can see all of this action live on BCTV Channel 8 or HD 1072 or the BCTV app or BCTV on YouTube. So a lot of different options there. Bishop Guertin comes out. Quick feed down low. That's McGarry again. Gets a little time and space, takes a whack, and scores a goal.
Yeah, we've seen that twice there. BG was actually man down, was able to beat the defender one-on-one, and let's see, it was, who was that? Sean McGarry, just staying with it. Thought he was going to get pushed behind, was able to put on the brakes and get in front of Con and draw the foul. So we've seen 2 of those. Each team is taking advantage man down. It's kind of like a hockey man down short score. But something we got to look at here, when you're man up, you got to be doubling the ball when you're on defense and really put the pressure on.
Yeah, or at least shutting off those adjacents, and if not, hacking away on the crease guy. And we did get some hacks there. That's why we see Colby Boyd in the box and feeling shame. Man down face, and Vasquez pulls it out and away. Finds some space. Up quick to Tyler McLeod. And now the Cardinals will settle things and release the penalty. So nice job there by the Cardinals. McGarry finishing from Ponto, pushing that lead back to 2. 7-5 is your score early going second quarter. Hayden. Ponto to McGarry, and now back to Ponto. And they spin it around the outside. 3-3 offense here for the Cardinals. McGarry, good check there by Riccio, getting a stick in last moment, deflecting that shot. Out of bounds far side, but the Cardinals are there for the backup.
Yeah, a bit surprised. We're not seeing the Cardinals move Bedford, meaning taking the one-on-ones. Bedford's doing a nice job packing it in, you know, so BG has to settle for those outside shots that can get deflected.
Of course, Bedford with the man-up opportunity on the foul on Boyd. Working it around, trying to get that time and space shot. That penalty is released now. Great save there by Kahn. A little face dodge by the Cardinals. I believe that was Dubois. Kahn got across his face and was able to make the stab. And now Matthews clears things out. 10:30 to go in the first half. Cardinals ahead by 2, 7-5. Bulldogs will settle things down. Helton draws the long stick midfielder, Tyler McLeod. Drives hard lefty, good checks there. Somehow Helton gets his stick free with one hand. Tries a little scoop shot, but it is saved. That is Feliciano with a save. Long pass ahead there. They find a midfielder. Shot there gets blocked out in front, but chased down behind by King. Kahn, good effort to try to win possession for the Bulldog defense, but King was there a little closer. Ponto feeds up top. High shot, too high by Hayden. Got a little space as he was guarded by Teddy LaPointe.
I think we see Bedford dropping into a bit of a zone, a 3-3 zone for the first time in the game.
See if they can cause a little consternation for this Cardinals offense. They back out of it, and they'll try to spin it around and get some open shots. Little pass here goes high from McGarry, but not high enough to go out of bounds as Hayden chases it down near the Bedford Bulldog bench.
And we see the zone that's slowing BG down a little bit. Not quite sure which formation. Usually you run a man-up formation against the zone just to try to find the cracks, but BG's a little bit stymied. Good word, stymied.
Stymie,
Yeah.
I like that. Vocab word, probably an SAT word too. Another pass goes high, out of reach, and now it's an over and back and a turnover for the Cardinals. So a little wrinkle there by Coach Gaudreau and his defense. They get one turnover, slow down the Cardinals offense, and we'll see Matthews start things out all the way across the Capello. Capello, nice check from behind there by McLeod. Ball was on the ground, but John Purnell was there to scoop it up. Here's Luke Purnell. He challenges Noah Guerrera. Gets high side. See if he can get his hands free. Decides to pull it down and keep possession.
As we've seen in the past, we have BG was trying to lock off Bennett Matthews with a short stick. I think Exeter was trying to do the same. We also see Coach Gaudreau moving some of the players. We see Evan Capello up at midfield, which he played last year, and Parker Gupta in there at attack for an opportunity.
We'll get a foul here as Luke Purnell was trying to hustle back, help McLeod drop the ball, but got a lot of his leg, got a trip. Now tic-tac-toe. The Bulldogs, nice job by Kahn with the save there, preventing the goal, but we will have a tripping penalty all the way back on the defensive side for the Cardinals. They'll go man up again. 8:04 to go in this first half. The Cardinals by 2. 7-5 is your score, and they have the extra man opportunity. Good hustle there, though, by Luke Purnell, just trying to get a stick on. Saw the butt end trailing there for McLeod and gave it a whack. Came down, you see here on the replay. Second time he got the butt end and also got the left foot of McLeod, so he'll go in the box and feel shame. Here's Hayden behind. King, now back up top. Ponto. Near side, McGarry. They fired all the way back around. Nice job by the Bedford Bulldog defense to rotate and prevent the goal, but nice little fake there by Hayden. Gives himself a little time and space. Rounds that top side lefty. Watch this fake here. Ready? 1-2, gets 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders to shift their feet. Gets just high side and buries. Camden Hayden has his second goal of the game, and the Cardinals push the lead to 3.
Yeah, Hayden, a long and lanky attackman there. Actually, I think his body was behind the goal, and he was still able to extend those hands and get it in a really, really tight angle shot. But the fake was what really sold it all.
Hayden actually a midfielder playing from X there on that man-up unit. Vasquez takes a hit from Helton, keeps the ball. A little behind the back shovel. Now the ball's back on the ground. Bulldogs in the scrum. 3, 4, 5 people with, and finally Helton comes away with the ground ball. And now Coach Gaudreau will take a timeout. 8-5 is your score. The Cardinals by 3. Coach Gaudreau sees this as an important possession for the Bulldogs offense. 7:08 to go in the first half. Cardinals by 3.
Yeah, I think we got a really nice opportunity for Bedford too to come up with a play, maybe a man-up play to get the defense moving. This is a big moment in the game. 7:08, down by 3. It'd be great to get a score, edge up to 2.
You say a man-up play. I think we're even strength, right?
We are even strength,
okay,
yes.
just making sure I didn't miss anything there. But yes, thinking through a set play, one of those after timeout kind of things that you hear about all the time in basketball, right? Set something up. Obviously, you have a free-flowing offense, but if you have a specified play to try to get your players time and space for a shot, get their hands free, those opportunities are golden. You could draw one up here, and hopefully your players execute it.
Yeah, thank you for that translation of my simpleton terms. But yeah, I think this is not the time to put it in someone's hands and go one-on-one. You have the chance to draw something up, like you said, a la basketball, and really get the defensive moving and get a good shot on goal.
So we'll see what Coach Gaudreau comes up with. We'll also see if you guys can listen to BCTV's live channels and on-demand content, because now it's easier than ever to access at your fingertips. Bedford Community Television is available for free download on Apple iOS and Android. Download the Bedford Community Television app from your app store today. There's an exclamation on there. I'm not sure I had enough emotion for that exclamation point, but it is a great way to access all of the content, both live programming as well as the archived footage. So if you see something from 2 years ago and you want to hear Jay Abendroth doing some spring lacrosse games, go back into the archives and you can find it.
Yeah, I think those are all deleted.
7 minutes to go here in the first half. Helton will start things off up top, and they'll come up with a pick and roll. Capello and Helton. Helton pulls the trigger down the right alley, just a bit wide right. not really the play that you were thinking of, right?
But, I mean, you get some really strong midfielders on the Bedford side, and you can understand why you want it in their hands. So kind of two ways, two schools of thought. Helton got a good shot, but it was just as good defense.
Ooh. Speaking of big, strong midfielders, Matthews finds Purnell on the doorstep, just can't quite make the connection. Dropped pass leads to a ground ball for the Cardinals, and they look to clear. Feliciano, beautiful outlet pass all the way up to the midfield. That is 41, Jack Redfern. Freshman Cardinal steps it in and will settle things down. Coming across the top is Hudson Schmidt, near side. Schmidt now looks to go one-on-one. Dodge to his left, split dodge, and now finding the back of the net, Owen King coming high. He has his second on the day. Schmidt with the assist.
Yeah, and we see all the white jerseys lumped into the center, and just a really easy catch, step down, and shoot. Nice play by BG recognizing Bedford lost a little bit of the man awareness there, unfortunately.
Number 24.
I mean, it's always good to help from the inside out, for sure. However, that was a tough one to give up.
It seems like, as you mentioned, just man-to-man defense awareness on that backside. Just somebody sneaking around the corner, and now quickly McGarry has his fourth off the face-off 4-on-3 opportunity. McGarry gets just a touch of space. His worm burner shot beats Kahn.
Yeah, and that's lacrosse in a nutshell there. It's a cruel game sometimes. Vasquez able to go straight out the front right after the goal, get into the hands of McGarry, throw it again into the back of the net, and here you go, 2 goals in probably 15, 20 seconds. So tough one for Bedford, but I think there are things they can tighten up here as we finish up the second quarter.
5:54 to go, and just like that, it's a 5-goal difference. 10-5 is your score. McGarry assisted by Vasquez on that clean face-off win, just seconds after the King goal from Schmidt. So what was a tight contest, a 5-5 game late in the first quarter, has opened up to a 5-goal margin here. Looks like they'll check a stick there at at midfield on the Bedford Bulldogs side. Checking, of course, dimensions of the stick, the length of it, the width of the cross itself, that's the pocket or the head of the stick, the depth of the pocket, several different dimensions that the officials will inspect to ensure they are within the rules. So you'll see the officials return those sticks to the players. They choose them at random, quote unquote, at random. Usually it's 1 or 2 players that are having some kind of effect on the game.
Or talking back to the refs.
Or chirping, yeah. Could be the chirping.
It's great too seeing, Corey, look out at the crowd. We got a pretty big crowd here. These two teams are very familiar with each other. Many of these BG players actually live in the Bedford district, played together, grew up together, so a lot of familiarity. So nice to see a spring game with this much attention.
Riccio breaks his stick over the arm of the the Cardinals player. Bo Dubois runs through that, runs through another check, and runs to a goal as his low bouncer beats Kahn.
Yeah,
Dubois unassisted, 11-5.
Just a nice one-on-one take by Dubois. Was able to go lefty hard. The long stick, long pole didn't bother him too much, able to get the hands free. And I think they've kind of found a little bit, the last couple goals have gone low on Kahn. Perhaps that's something that the BG team has seen, the place to hit Kahn at. He's definitely a great goalie when it comes to stopping the ball. He's been susceptible low the last couple shots.
And those are coming from a tough angle too, because the sun is right in his face as he looks out to his top right. That last one for sure was at a tough angle from Dubois. Here's Capello running at the midfield. Again, that adjustment by Coach Gaudreau, getting one of his senior players a little bit more involved up top. Helton behind. Parker Gupta seeing some time as Capello has shifted up. Purnell gets high. Too much action there on his hands, tries to scoop it inside to John Purnell. And now nice little flip for Helton. Purnell fires up and away. Helton had some space there. He would have liked to see him take that shot from 7 yards. Body to body hit, and John Purnell will get called for a loose ball push on that one. Good choice there, as you could have seen a yellow hanky fly on that one. A little blindside hit, but again, you like the aggressiveness on the GB. LaPointe now will chase Hayden out and away, and the Bulldogs fall back into that 3-3 zone defense. Shot here, eaten up Kahn from the outside. Lefty low liner by Beau Dubois. And Kahn was up to the task. So now the drop ride from the Cardinals. Kahn looks for the cutter. It's intercepted by McLeod, hustling across the top there. They spin it around. King on the doorstep, and it's another goal. King from Jeremy Warren.
Yeah, we see really effective midi play by BG. Number 17, Tyler McLeod, was able to pick that off, and Kahn looking for those short sticks. That's the right way to clear when they're clamping down on your defenders, but McLeod able to use that long pole and pick the ball off. And again, here we see an unsettled situation that BG is able to take advantage of.
Just exceptional stick skills as they move it up the field. McLeod picks it off, fires it 1-2-3 tic-tac-toe, and it ends up in the back of the net. 12-5 is your score. The Cardinals by 7. Helton now draws a crowd, dumps it behind. Gupta moves it quickly. Back up top, here's Matthews. Draws the double quickly, tries to dump it down, misses Capello. Nice job on the defensive end by Colin Foley. Ooh, tough one there. Capello looked like he could have got a slash on the helmet there.
Just a brush.
Official was right there. Deems it a brush. And now the Cardinals will take a timeout. 3:23 to go here in the first half. 12-5 is your score. Cardinals by 7. Interesting place to take that timeout on the clear there. Perhaps Coach Cameron wasn't confident in coming out of the back end, but looked like there was some time and space. Yeah, and he'll talk things over.
Maybe worried about a failure to advance or something like that. I also see too, hopefully, well, we've seen the opportunity for Gupta to be in, and great opportunity for that senior. I've lost eyes on Bryce Durso, standout midfielder for Bedford. Hopefully he's okay and able to get back in the game here soon.
And that could have been part of that Capello adjustment, moving him up to the midfield. We've seen Bryce Durso contribute significantly from the sophomore throughout this early season. So yeah, I haven't seen him out there either. Good eyes. Officials have done a great job here this afternoon. A couple of calls here and there, but nothing too egregious. And we do want to encourage people out there, if you're interested in becoming a high school sports official, it's an easy call. Officiating allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the games we love by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. To learn more about becoming a high school sports official, please visit NHIAA.org. You don't have to necessarily have experience in the sport that you're interested in. Of course, that helps. But the officiating associations across the state will help you understand the game, how you can be an official, and how you can make a contribution right away. So if you're interested, get out there and get active. Ponto with the one-man clear, beats all 3 Bedford attackmen. Shifty moves by number 14 as the senior attacker gets it over. Here's Dubois. Hayden now, far side. Bulldogs in that 3-3 zone defense. We're going to get an illegal screen by the Cardinals. Helton will pick it up, and he's the one-man clear this time.
Yeah, we see the adjustment from BG there. This Helton takes
with a shot, no good. Bouncer, high bouncer, finds the back of the net. Nice job by Capello to scoop up the ground ball and cash in.
Yeah, what I was going to say on both sides, we're seeing settled defense for both BG and Bedford has been pretty good. It's when we get the long rebounds like Capello was able to cash in on, or the odd man breaks or the clears. It's really where both teams have been able to capitalize.
So an unassisted goal there by Capello brings it back to within 6 goals, 2:39 left in this first half. The Cardinals lead by 6. Vasquez back to the face-off. Out and away to himself. Chased down by Riccio. Steps it in, rolls away from pressure, and the Cardinals have another offensive opportunity. Here's Jackson Warren. McGarry. They look behind. Jeremy Warren. McGarry up top to Schmidt. Now back down and around the side. Part of the strategy here is to just slow down this Cardinals offense too, as the shots were coming in hard and fast.
Yeah, and when you see a zone like this, Bedford has chosen to put their short sticks in the middle. That means your 4 long poles are out on the edge and able to extend the defense where you want them, not buried in the middle. Nice move by Coach Gaudreau to really get sticks in shooters' hands.
Schmidt, far side King, gets a little bit of space. Fires high and outside. As Colby Boyd was trying to apply pressure there.
It's quite interesting because we have not seen BG been able to actually move this zone and get an open clear. It's kind of confused them a bit this early in the season. Maybe haven't seen this 3-3 quite this way and have a play for it.
Still working around, finding their patience as well. Not finding a lot of shots, and now we're going to see that timeout from Coach Cameron. He's probably thinking the similar thing, right? We're moving the ball around, but we're not really moving the defense around. So
yeah.
That point is to try to draw and dump, find that extra man, overload portions of the zone, and rely on that quick stick work. 1:12 to go here in the first half. 12-6 is your score. The Cardinals are up on the Bulldogs. If you're looking for where you can find upcoming Bedford Bulldogs games, BCTV is a proud member of the New Hampshire Coalition for Community Media, which offers a New Hampshire high school sports broadcast schedule listing games from all across the state. Our peers in other communities may be covering your away games live on their channels and live streams. Find Bedford Bulldogs game coverage and more at nhccm.tv/calendar/sports.
That's 2 slashes.
Yeah, it is. There you see it on your screen. There's 2 slashes. That's not the easiest read, but it looks a lot easier when it's on the screen, right?
I got to say, though, a coalition sounds impactful. That's a really good way to come together into a coalition.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. That's a good word.
Yeah. You have to coalesce to become a coalition, right?
Very nice, yeah.
So we have 1:12 left, and we'll see if the Cardinals' offense is coalescing with Coach Cameron's design here. Across the top, here's Cam Hayden, little hidden ball trick. He still has it. McGarry takes a shot. Kahn with the save. Rebounds to Matthews. He's off to the races. He draws a crowd from the midfield. Absorbs a few slashes. Keeps his stick protected nicely, though, and now Helton will bring it behind. He is guarded by Beau Dubois. Probably is going to look to go one-on-one, but we're going to see some quick slides from the Cardinals, I imagine. One there, and now Helton runs through it, fires it high, and gets a goal. Nice individual effort on the offensive end from Brody Helton.
Yeah, and you see him crashing here. And not a ton of conviction by the BG team to lay a body on a body. Helton was able to manage through that, got his hands free. Nice shot, as you said. Really good individual effort that got that ball in the back of the net.
That's a big boy to try to body up, too, and the Cardinals did not come strong with the body. Helton got some space. Buries high. Beats Feliciano for the first time. Helton with 1-1. Just 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Vasquez, weird. He won a faceoff.
Yeah, just when Bedford would love to have another possession to get back-to-backs, Vasquez was able to kill that momentum.
Such a huge part of the game, and Bishop Guertin is, absolutely benefiting from such a dominant faceoff player as Vasquez. Ponto here.
Yeah, I mean this in a positive way. Vasquez looks and plays like many of the other really dominant face-off guys. You know, short, stocky, kind of gets the ball and looks like an armadillo, can't get out of his hands. Really good player.
Love the armadillo, and love that Frangelo ate the shot there before it got to Kahn on the last-ditch effort by the Cardinals offense. We will end the first half, though. The Cardinals with a 12-7 lead over the Bulldogs. We will take a break, probably hear from our underwriters at halftime, and join you for second half action of Division I lacrosse action here from Bedford High School. We'll see you in a few minutes.
BCTV and WBNH thank our underwriters. Primary Bank, New Hampshire's bank for business. PrimaryBankNH.com. The Wicks Insurance Group, serving New Hampshire and the Bedford community with auto, home, life, and business insurance since 1984. TheWicksInsuranceGroup.com. Interim Healthcare of Manchester, personalizing care to help meet your unique health needs. InterimHealthcare.com. Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, your local brokerage boutique. Relationships built on trust. MrsNelsonsNeighborhood.com. Great New Hampshire restaurants. Food tastes better with family. Tbones.com or Copperdoor.com.
And we're back here at Bedford High School Stadium, where the Bulldogs trail the Bishop Guertin Cardinals 12-7 at halftime. We're blessed to have Brian Miller, the Merrimack High School boys coach here, join us in the booth here. Brian, any thoughts from that first half of action?
Well, you know, it was fun to watch, and thanks for letting me jump on here. I had a nice nice view over by the dumpsters, which is super nice, but gave you an angle on the defenses and what everybody's doing. And boy, BG, as predicted, I think, with all the control off the face-off, even though Paul struggled a little bit, they still managed to get ground balls and get it down the offensive end and maintain possession and come away with some good looks.
Now, you guys have had a great start to the season. I saw that you played Pinkerton pretty tough. 6-3 was the loss. Again, I didn't see any highlights, didn't know any of the story, but you guys have started 4-3, pretty strong start for the program. What are your thoughts on your season so far?
You know, and that game was fun to coach. We threw a couple away at the end, and I think we could have been right there. You're 6-3, you think you're right there. Our season started okay. We got a lot of things to do, and that's why you play the whole season, not just a couple games. So looking forward to seeing what we're going to do when we come out of April break. We got a big one tomorrow against National South. Very well coached team. Got to come to play against those guys.
Now, you lost to Bishop Guertin a couple days ago. 16-3 was that score. You're here scouting because you play Bedford in a couple weeks. That game is on May 19th. You don't have to tell us how you're going to approach it, but we know that you guys have had some interesting matchups with this Bedford squad over the past few years. Of course, that playoff win, what was that, 2-3 years ago right here at Bedford High School. Big upset for you guys. How do you look at the rest of your season? What are you expecting? Toughest games, all that fun kind of stuff. Nice stop there by Kahn as we get this third quarter started.
Well, you know, that was a nice save. I think they kind of rushed that shot a little bit, but you know, we just look to get better every day, and yeah, we'll see these guys in a couple weeks. I'm actually not here to scout. I'm here because I like lacrosse. And I was talking to Coach Godra last night, who I covered in high school. He actually almost broke my jaw. I like to tell that story. He had a wicked shot. But I told him last night I hope they both lose today, and I don't know if we can make that happen somehow. You know, maybe you know somebody we can call and pull a few strings.
Well, I felt very much like that in the Super Bowl, as I didn't like either team, but unfortunately one has to win. In your case, I know you don't like either team. Being the head coach of the Merrimack Tomahawks, we appreciate you joining us here in the booth. We're going to get underway here with our broadcast, but thank you so much for joining us as we get, not a penalty. We thought there might be an offside. The counting, and now there goes the flag. Bishop Guertin comes down, scores one, and they push that lead out to 6 goals. Coach Miller, appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good luck.
Again, Coach Brian Miller for the Merrimack High School Tomahawks. Appreciate him joining us on the broadcast. Jay, thoughts from that first half?
Yeah,
Bulldogs trailed 12-7 and now 13-7 on this early goal.
Yeah, I think as Coach Miller talked about, it's some really good things happen on both sides. We saw the defense in settled situations both play pretty well. It's when that speed and tempo got up, a little bit more urgency. We saw BG pressure Bedford on those rides, get a bunch of easy 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3 pushes, and then we saw Bedford, as is the hallmark twofold. We saw them pushing really hard from behind. Good thing things happen when they bring the ball from the attack, from behind, and then also the one-on-one matchups, they were able to take advantage with their big, strong middies and get a couple goals. So hopefully Bedford can come together here, control the face-off X a bit more as they're doing now, get some more possessions, because that's the biggest thing that has hurt them in the first half is lack of possession.
13-7 is your score on that last goal by Ponto. Ponto now has 2 goals and an assist on the afternoon. As we come back from halftime, quick scoring update. McGarry leads the way. He has 4 goals for the Cardinals. Matthews, nice hard drive righty, gets one to go on the low bouncer. 13-8 is now the score.
Yeah, we see Matthews take the jump shot. Got a lot of velocity there and was able to put the ball behind. The hard thing is we talk about the face-off X. Other parts of the game, you can do things strategically to double the ball or, run plays. Face-off X is one-on-one, and this is just something you got to hope to contain Vasquez. Riccio's doing a nice job. He's a very good face-off guy. I just think he's going up against one of the best, if not in the state, in New England as well. So that's the big change as we see Vasquez again get a procedure on Riccio, who's trying to get an edge. Ball back to BG.
Even if you get the procedure, though, it's still not a bad thing because you can set your defense. There's no penalty. You don't go man down anymore for that. So you get a chance to at least get back and get a settled defensive set instead of giving up a 4-on-3 as Vasquez pushes forward. King now left side. Kahn with the stop. Looked like it went off of the shaft of his goalie stick there. Bulldogs back in this zone defense. And Bishop Guertin looks like they're running a wheel on that left side. So that wheel, circular motion, they try to draw a defender over and overload certain zones to try to get free shots like McGarry almost had there. Schmidt up top. King takes a shot, rings it off the near side pipe. Kahn with a little help from his friend, Post Malone. 9:10 to go here in the third quarter. King. Nice check there by Santos. Gets the ball on the ground, but it goes right to King. Ground ball here. Riccio comes up with it. Nice GB for him. Gets out, leads the break.
Yeah, really nice hands by Riccio. Was able to pull out there. And I think we see BG. Again, I think this is a win for Bedford as BG is able to get some shots off, but they're pretty far out. Bedford will give those up. It's when BG moves the ball quickly, repetitively, is where they're going to start to get the one-on-one opportunities, and that's where Bedford has to stay true to their zone.
Matthews there drives hard lefty. His shot goes wide. Good pull there from the big midfielder. Similar one-on-one for Helton there. Tries to get to the high side. His shot goes wide right, chased down on the far side by Purnell. John Purnell now drives righty. He pulls the short stick defender, gets a little space. Slide comes early. Help now up top. Some steps, save Feliciano. Stick side high, Feliciano didn't have to move that butterfly net too far and comes up with a save. Despite the velocity there, placement needs to be a little better from Helton on that drive. 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. King picks up the ground ball, gets whacked a few times by LaPointe, and now the Bulldogs will drop back down into that zone defense. 3-3 again, trying to force these outside shots and trusting their goalkeeper, Ethan Kahn, on the back door. McGarry. Ponto. Now Hayden. McGarry. Back up top. Here's DuBois. King looking for the wrap. Ponto will pull the trigger. Kahn with 2 stops. Finally that ball finds the stick of Owen King. Just popped right to him. The loose ball right in the middle.
I think we have a little discussion here.
In the crease.
Yeah, credit to the Bedford defense. Again, I think the reason why they're really slowing down this BG offense is they're doing a fantastic job at passing off players and not getting out of their zone. It's really been a surprising wrinkle that they've been able to throw in Bedford to slow down the BG offense.
Matthews gets double teamed on the clear attempt. Long pass for Purnell. Gets tipped, and it will stay with Bedford. Far side official indicating the tip.
Yeah, that was a...
So that goal not counted as King was in the crease. They tried to clear it out. They got it to their athletic midfielder. He got double teamed, so tried the long pass. Lucky for him, it was tipped by the Cardinals on the way out.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. Luck plays a part in these games, and that was a little bit of luck for Bedford.
Gupta getting heavy pressure from the defense there.
And here we see a little bit of the opposite with BG now fully face guarding.
Gupta takes a shot in the middle.
Yeah.
Help beat his man. Gupta made a beautiful cut to that crease and gets destroyed from behind, so he'll draw a foul. You see there on the replay, taking a shot right in the back. He dropped the pass, tried to rake it in, but took a good shot from behind and has earned a man-up opportunity for the Bulldogs. 6:34 to go in this third quarter. Just 2 goals scored, one by each team here in the second half.
Looks like they called that just a common push, as we see BG still with 6 defenders on the field.
Yeah, strange. Flag was thrown. Purnell gets the edge, takes a hit. Feliciano there for the save. Good footwork there. Got enough space for him to get around. Matthews tries to lay out, can't quite get there fast enough. McLeod with the man up. King drops it. Riccio with a nice ground ball. Backhand to Khan in the crease, and now they try to clear it out. Khan looks to the box. Ball gets lost in the sun, but right there is Capello on a nice substitution, and again, a little luck there, as that would have been a turnover otherwise. Back up top, here's Bennett Matthews for the Bulldogs. 13-8 is the score. The Cardinals ahead by 5 with 5.5 to go here in the third quarter. Matthews draws McLeod. Pick there, stick up in the grill. Now he rings one off the post. Help chases it down near midfield. It would not have been an over and back. Just an important note for viewers at home, in that it was a shot that hit the post, and that was the reason it was approaching midfield, so that is not considered an over and back as they chase down that rebound. Purnell gets pushed, absorbs one, flag is down. Kind of a soft foul there, but the Bulldogs will draw a penalty this time. And despite us thinking the last one was an EMO, or extra man opportunity, now they will get one, as it looks like Colin Foley will go in the box and feel shame for the Cardinals.
Yeah, we see this play. You're seeing Purnell having kind of some free reign as he runs through from one side almost to the other of the field. Bit of a interesting push, but that's okay. Bedford are the beneficiary. Some openings as Bennett Matthews puts the ball in the back of the net for Bedford if they can get their hands free.
Matthews on the goal there. Just too much heat, beats Feliciano stick side high to that near post. So Matthews has 4 on the day. And I believe they'll give that to Luke Purnell on the assist, coming from behind. Not a tremendously complicated extra man play there, but whatever it was, it worked. And now Riccio wins a face-off and gets another opportunity on the offensive end for the Bulldogs. 4.5 to go in the third quarter. 13-9 is the score. The Cardinals up by 4.
Yeah, and this is an important one. We see now Bedford having the opportunity to get a goal and then get back on a face-off. Really nice one by Riccio. Pulled a little Vasquez there and went out the front. Let's see what Bedford can do with this offensive possession.
Matthews looks to Capello. Now back to Matthews, guarded by Guerrera. Behind, Purnell drives hard righty. Gets his stick free, pulls the shot near side and wide. Matthews is behind for the backup.
Luke's done that a couple times. Luke Purnell has gotten a step and able to kind of in one motion turn and shoot. Hasn't always hit the goal, but it's a good opportunity for him.
Matthews tries to feed inside, but in the crease is John Purnell. BG will get the chance to clear. One hopper finds the stick of Hunter Duaney. Now McLeod. Behind for King. Now all the way back behind for Warren. McGarry up top for Ponto. Waits for his offensive buddies to come out. Here's Beau Dubois. Near side, Hayden. Zone defense by the Bulldogs again as they pass it off zone to zone. Dubois draws 2. Try to wheel it around. Flip up top, 15-yard shot. Kahn with the save. This is also a clear illustration of this right here. The long sticks for the Bulldogs having trouble handling the ball. They find Help, and Help puts on his football helmet. He's going to get some moves through the midfield. Didn't face too much resistance there, but it's fun to see him work those tailback skills on the lacrosse field as well.
I think he was looking for someone to draw contact from.
I don't doubt that.
But BG did not oblige.
He loves running through tacklers, that's for sure. Matthews now gets one. 15-yard shot, wide left. Like that time and space, he's got the heat. Why not pull? He does, and it was high left. 2:30 to go here in this third quarter. 2-goal run by the Bulldogs has them within 4. Good takeaway check there as Purnell tried to run through a few checks, and it's an over and back. So the Cardinals get possession here. Running through a check, Duaney clears it, finds Warren behind. Now King near side. Hayden. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Bulldogs making some defensive substitutions here. Hayden near side. Back to Hayden. He'll fake the shot, push it back up top. Top center, Dubois. Far side, McGarry takes a shot, misses the cage.
Yeah, good ball movement there by BG, but again, Bedford able to scramble, stay in their zones, and pass off, and really a shot from a low angle, low percentage shot.
King up top. The lefty draws Abendroth out from that top center defensive position. Trevor pulling the shorty out here. He's normally a long stick midfielder or close defenseman. Getting a little time at that zone position in the top center. Jeremy Warren behind, approaches 1 minute, and we see this keep it in signal from the referees. So if those not familiar, if the officials feel the offense is stalling, they can tell them to keep it in the box. The box is out from the end line behind the cage out to the 30-yard line, and those hashes in between near the football hashes. And yet them still taking a shot, they still have to take it in, so they cannot go out of that smaller box area. McGarry.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, that keeping in that stall, I don't know if it was necessarily deliberate by BG. They just don't have an answer for this zone. They don't have anything that's really getting them good shots. Again, good for Bedford for the stall, but I don't know if that's necessarily a tactic that BG was trying to employ, more than it was just them a bit confused.
A bit confused, a bit overly patient, right? Yeah. They're looking for that perfect shot.
And a bit up, too. They're up by 4 goals, so it doesn't hurt to run some clock.
They're going to run down this quarter here. Hayden, nice little dodge, swimming through Santos. His shot goes wide. Just under 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. Quick pass, backside. Hayden takes a shot again, and it's wide. 5 seconds to go in this third quarter. 13-9 is the score. The Cardinals by 4. They missed the pass up top. Ponto can't quite get it. That'll do it for the third quarter. And this adjustment on the defensive end by Coach Gaudreau is causing some confusion. Kahn standing up to a few of these shots nicely, and the Bulldogs have been able to chip away. They bring it to within 4 after 3. We at BCTV and WBNH would like to thank our underwriters for supporting our live sports coverage. Primary Bank, the Wicks Insurance Group, Interim Healthcare of Manchester, Nelson Real Estate of New Hampshire, and Great New Hampshire Restaurants, T-Bones and the Copper Door. Appreciate their support. Again, for our live sports coverage, huge help for BCTV and bringing you all this action live over the many different channels that you can use. Again, we are broadcasting today on channels 8 and 1072 for BCTV. We're also into Nashua on ETV 22 and HD 1073. Again, we welcome in our Nashua audience for this lacrosse action this afternoon here from Bedford High School. Scoring recap, Matthews leads the way for the Bulldogs. He has 4 goals, 1 goal apiece for Helton, Durso, Purnell, Capello, and Purnell. That's John and Luke Purnell, each with 1. For the Cardinals, heavily concentrated, Sean McGarry has 4, Owen King has 3, 2 each for Camden Hayden and Michael Ponto. Between those 4 players, they have 11 of the 13 goals.
Yeah, and as we look at it, I think every quarter has its own story, as does every half. I would think that one really edged in the favor of Bedford. They were able to minimize the situations where they were a man down or being fast breaked, and able to take advantage of the matchups, the one-on-one matchups, use their skill on offense to take it to the goal. So some definite positives from that Q3 for Bedford, and then for perhaps Coach Miller looking at, hey, maybe I employ a zone against either of these teams and throw a wrinkle in.
As we saw on the schedule, he already did face this Bishop Guertin squad, but he has been known to employ his zone defense, as our friend Coach Smith up there with the Concord Crimson Tide. Sometimes befuddling the offensive units, causing grief, challenges to even get open shots. Vasquez Weird wins another faceoff.
Yeah.
And McGarry will slow things down. The Bulldogs back in this 3-3 zone defense.
So we've got grief, we've got befuddling, we've got stymied.
Yeah.
That's kind of describes the game, I think, so far.
I mean, if you're a junior and you're taking the SATs, you should listen to these broadcasts.
That's right. That's right. We'll use it in a sentence, etymology.
Can you tell me the place of origin?
That's right. Old English, Latin.
Up top for Hayden. He looks inside. McGarry spins it behind Ponto now. Just looking for possession and that golden shot. Hayden fakes the shot. Draws a whack from Matthews up top. King. Now behind Ponto. Extending pressure is Riccio. Misses the pass. And again, that Bedford Bulldogs defense forcing the turnover.
Yeah, and I think that's the next level for this zone, is starting to extend a bit, because we're in high school, we got a lot of really talented kids, but once you start to add that pressure and ratchet it up, just like BG does to Bedford on this clear, once you start to extend a little bit, get some sticks in hands, maybe instead of them just passing a catch, they're passing a catch and looking at the defender coming to them. That's the next level of this zone to really bring it to BG.
In football, we call that hearing footsteps. You're thinking about the defender and getting absolutely demolished instead of thinking about catching the ball. So those footsteps are a real thing. And the Bedford Bulldogs get another opportunity. Helton here will come from behind, draws Steinbreck. Gets the shot off, misses the cage. Backing it up is Capello. 13-9 is the score. The Bulldogs trail by 4, trying to bring it to within 3, and we're going to get an illegal screen by Capello. You just saw he was moving his feet there as the contact was made. Pretty easy call for the officials.
Yeah, and that's an easy one, unfortunately. I don't think he was actually trying to make too much of a push, more so he was trying to just brace himself for the body, but easy call for the officials right in front of him.
Outlet pass from Feliciano to Tyler McLeod. Long stick midfielder able to gather it and get it to his offensive teammates for another possession. Under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The Cardinals by 4. McGarry sees some space, sails one high, and that's off the equipment room shed. That ball will never be seen again. King there for the backup. Here's Hayden. Hayden shoots low and outside. misses the cage, but it's backed up behind by King.
Yeah, we see BG really trying to find the softness in the zone. That last go-round, they were able to get Bedford moving, and were able to get, in essence, like a man-up play where you cause the defense to rotate, and if you pass enough times, you get an open shot. Luckily for Bedford, that shot sailed high.
This is kind of what I expected to see a little bit more when this Bedford Bulldogs team packs it in, these outside shots. The Cardinals offense just looking to haul off, and now Hayden sees King cutting from behind. They have their first goal of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we see here again making Bedford, Colby Boyd usually down below. Capello, I think that was, trying to come in and cover, but had was that Owen King coming up with a head of steam, lefty, being able to sneak it past Kahn. So good on BG to solve that zone a little bit. And as you're a kid, you learn the ball moves faster than your feet, and that's one of those premises that you got to employ here for both teams on offense.
Vasquez wins it back to himself, goes all the way back to Feliciano. You also think about those crank shots, those time and space shots. And even though they're missing the cage, it still gets the defense thinking. You have to take those shots because of how the defense will react the next time. Dubois pass over the head of King. That will be Bedford Bulldogs ball. We say that a lot in basketball too. If you have an open three-point shooter, even if you're missed 2 or 3 in a row, you still have to shoot the ball because it makes the defense feel that you're a threat.
Even if you're not.
Even if you're not. In this case, these Cardinals outside shooters are all threats.
They are, yeah. Shooters are going to shoot.
8.5 to go here in this game. Gupta behind. Running away from pressure. Gets rid of it up top. Here's Helton. Helton checked by Steinbreck. Split dodge to his left. Tries to get his hands free. Good lift by Steinbreck. Little fake to the hidden ball. Now Purnell from behind. Draws the shorty. We've talked about that in the past too. When the attack draws shorty, he needs to have the confidence to go hard and beat that defender. Here's Matthews. Behind the back. Quick pass, quick shot. Helton with the goal. Nice execution, nice finish. Helton from Matthews.
Yeah, and there you see Matthews drawing two, the behind the back. That's two guys that have played a lot of lacrosse together. Helton was able to find that soft spot in that defense, set his feet, and pull, and a goal ensued.
Second goal on the game for Helton. He has 2 and 1. Matthews with his second assist, 4 and 2 overall for Matthews. And the Bulldogs back to within 4. 8 minutes to go here in this contest. And, oh, weird. Vasquez won a faceoff.
I will say, though, Bedford's doing a nice job limiting the damage when he does. The worst thing happen is he can go out the front, meaning he can push the ball to himself in the front, create a fast break and a goal. But if you pinch down from those wings and cut him off before you can get a 4-on-3 opportunity, you can basically get into settled defense, which is, as we've said, is the strength of the Bedford defense. So good work on that wing play to limit the damage of those face-off wins by BG.
Ponto draws Riccio. Spins it up top, McGarry. They find Hayden across the other side. That lefty pull from top left on Kahn. Bounce shot goes wide left. The Cardinals back it up. 7:05 to go in this game. The Cardinals ahead 14-10 over your Bedford Bulldogs. Ponto, spin inside, nice check. Frangelo gets it on the carpet. Now Kahn pulls it back into the crease. It was trickling towards that goal line, but does not make it there. Outlet pass to Riccio. He'll get it over and finds Helton coming out of the box. Good defensive stand there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, sorry for the sound effects there, but it was that close. The ball was
it sure
rolling
was.
Ever so slowly.
We prefer the sound effects. Yeah. Helton tries to connect with Purnell, cutting from the backside. They call a tip. I'm not sure I saw the tip there as we see the replay. Frangelo, Santos.
All slowly
Santos
going.
Pulls it back towards Kahn, and it almost goes in. Now Purnell gets the flag down, feeds the crease, Shot goes wide, but the Bulldogs will have a man up. Capello was there on the crease. We're going to get a push on the Cardinals. Looks like Noah Guerrera will head to the box and feel shame. 30-second technical foul, and the Bulldogs will have the EMO. 6:16 to go in the game. 14-10 is your score. The Cardinals by 4.
Yeah, it feels like Bedford's strung some really nice plays together. This is when they really have to get a good shot on goal and get a goal to create some, close that gap between them and BG as we see another flag fly. I'm not quite sure for what, but good harbinger for Bedford.
Great save there by Feliciano. Matthews gets this time and space on a loose ball. Just whizzes the bouncer past the goal on the low left side. That's an experienced official over there, so curious what this one is. We don't see the call from our side, but we do have a second penalty on the Cardinals. So that first one should be released rather quickly here. It was only a 30-second foul, so it should be released in just a few seconds. But meanwhile, the Bulldogs have a 2-man advantage, and there we see now it's only 1-man advantage. Bulldogs not making clean connections here and not able to take advantage of this 2-man and now only 1-man opportunity. Excuse me, man-up opportunity. Helton now finds Matthews on the wheel. Slow, low shot, save Feliciano. Scooped up, Purnell, back to Matthews. That second one is released, and we're even strength. Bulldogs cannot capitalize on the extra man. 5 minutes to go in this game. Helton gets to his right, splits the double. Behind the back, finds the low left corner. Helton puts the Bulldogs within 3.
Yeah, that's a special play here. We see Helton fake left and come hard right. Got 2 sticks on him. Got a lot on that shot, more than I thought he did. That was a special play.
Exceptional placement for Helton. He has the Hattie on the evening. 5:04 to go, and this is a 3-goal game. 14-11. Usually those BTB shots, they don't have a lot of mustard on them, and that one didn't have the normal velocity that a Helton shot would have, but the placement was just excellent. Offside, got away from the goalie, from the opposite side of his movement. He was moving right, it went back to the goalie's right. We have a procedure here now for the Cardinals as they came out of the box too early. Santos was on the wing, so he should be fine. He picks it up, gets it to Capello. Capello to Purnell. 14-11 is your score, under 5 minutes to go. Luke Purnell behind. He backs it out, relieves a little bit of pressure from his hands. Now he'll have a go. Couple of checks, some V-cuts in and out, gets his hands free, and now Helton. We're going to get a flag thrown, and we're going to get unsportsmanlike conduct on Helton. He clearly was chirping the official after whatever call there was there.
Looked like the BG defender perhaps lost a shoe. That was something happened there, because
quite clearly that's a very experienced official there, so he knows what he's doing. He knows what to do in that situation. As Tim McCaffrey, one of the most senior officials in New Hampshire, so you have to rely on him making the right call in that situation. And it didn't seem like Coach Gaudreau was chirping at all. Probably felt that whatever was said was warranting a penalty here. So the Cardinals with the extra man opportunity. 4 minutes to go in this game. They hold a 3-goal lead. They skip a pass. McGarry cut off by Riccio nicely. Shut down that shooting lane. Hayden, King, save, Kahn. Outlet pass goes out of bounds, but there's goalie interference on the back end. Nice job by Kahn to make sure his follow through on that pass hit the defender. So that ball goes out of bounds. but it is goalie interference on the clear, so it will be Bedford ball. So if you don't understand that rule at home, the goalie has 4 seconds within their own crease to make a pass. If the defender in front of them makes contact with the goalie, it's considered goalie interference, even if it's the follow-through. Feliciano with the save on Purnell. John Purnell with that lefty sidearm shot, couldn't find the corner, and Feliciano comes up with a save.
Yeah, we see 2 experienced goalies, both of them. When you throw the ball at their stick, they're going to save it. Kahn and Feliciano able to snatch those up.
Hayden clears it into the offensive end for the Cardinals, and we tick down to 3 minutes to go. 3-goal lead for the Cardinals. This has not been the cakewalk of a second half we might have expected, as the Cardinals had a 12-7 lead at halftime. This Bulldogs team has done a nice job to scrap back. They've changed their strategy and approach on both ends. They've gotten some production from their offensive players, some production from their defense, meaning they've slowed the Cardinal offense. Good D, some good saves by Kahn. They switch into a man-to-man here as they look to try to apply pressure. Here's Hayden, 2.5 to go. Goes to his left, draws the double. Riccio, excuse me, that's Frangelo. Now matches up with Hayden. Hayden drives hard lefty, draws the other slide. Here's Boyd.
Hayden's trying them all out, all the defenders.
He sure is. He's posting up. Big, strong midfielder, absorbing a bunch of checks, too. His arms are going to be sore this evening. Long pass across the formation. Here's Ponto. Drives hard righty. Slide comes. Discourages the shot. Ponto now up top. Righty gets back to his right hand. Low worm burner, wide left. Backed up behind by King. Tough position for this defense to be in. They're down 3. They're going to need to apply pressure. King through the middle. Dubois one-on-one with Kahn, and he finishes.
Yeah, Dubois able to run free as we see this. King gets free. Dubois coming, and gosh, no one in the middle. All the Bedford players looking at the adjacents, and that's a tough one to absorb with 1:42 left. Really strong defensive stand, and as a former defensive player, that's a little bit demoralizing when you've played so hard, and after about 1.5, 2 minutes, you get that type of one-on-one with the goalie.
Tough one there. Beautiful cut, though, through the middle. King finds Dubois. And you're absolutely right, tough one there. Kahn eats that one up. Bit of a beach ball shot for him, high, stick side. Makes a nice save. Boyd absorbs a check or two. That ball pops out. A lot of hacking, a lot of whacking. We're gonna get a loose ball push on the Bulldogs. So the Cardinals will pick it up. And you're absolutely right, that was a long defensive set. It takes a lot of energy to play defense for that long. And a very patient approach by the Cardinals paid off. They extended back out to a 4-goal lead. King gets the edge, gets the goal.
Yeah, I think Boyd had to kind of extend there, try for some takeaways, not necessarily what is his strong suit. King was able to take advantage, get a step, and good individual play by Mr. King there.
His defense playing a lot of defensive possession here in the last 3-4 minutes, and you can see it's wearing, causing some fatigue here over this last few minutes of play. 16-11 is your score. The Cardinals have pushed it out to a 5-goal lead as Vasquez, weird, wins the faceoff.
Such a weapon in this game. Make it, take it. We've all, a lot of us have played basketball in the backyard. Make it, take it is the way to win games.
Vasquez's shot goes high on a nice trail check, but the Cardinals are there to back it up. We're inside a minute to go, and as we close this out, Jay, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, really nice game by both sides. We saw some things, do well, some things to work on, but I will say that this is really high-level New Hampshire lacrosse. The pace of this game has been unlike any other one we've seen from both sides. And I would say that kind of looking towards the meat of the year, both have a lot of optimism in what they can do, and I think there's going to be some good game planning when it comes to their next inevitable showdown in the rest of the state games.
Late goal here by Redfern, just circling the offensive area, just an exhausted defender trailing him there. Not much else he could do. Probably could have used a slide at that point as he came right down Broadway and had the one-on-one with Kahn, but that is the exclamation point on this game. Coach Cameron putting in a few more of his substitutes for these last 16 seconds, and that'll do it. This game, 17-11, not quite final yet, but very close to it. Owen King leading the way for scorers. He had 5 goals, 2 assists. Pass here goes out of bounds, and the Cardinals will pick it up. 4 goals and an assist for Sean McGarry, 2 each for Hayden, Ponto, and Dubois. Just an offensive onslaught from this Bishop Guertin Cardinals offense. Leading the way for the Bulldogs, 2 familiar names as you would expect. Bennett Matthews had 4 goals, 2 assists. Brody Helton, 3 goals, 1 assist. A smattering of goals across the rest. Durso with 1. Purnell and Purnell each with 1. Capello with 1. That'll do it here as clock has hit zeros. The final score from Bedford High School, 17-11. The Bishop Guertin Cardinals come in and do not treat the Bulldogs kindly. Again, as you mentioned, this is likely a playoff rematch, or excuse me, preview for later this year. Very impressed by the athleticism for this Cardinals team, the stick skills, and honestly, a lot of those transition goals early, just sharp passing, taking advantage of those odd man situations. Well, we really appreciate you tuning in this afternoon again on BCTV as well as ETV. Final score here, again, 17-11. We appreciate cameraman Dylan Smith helping out from Nashua ETV. For Jay Abendroth, I'm Corey Munster-Tiger. We will see you next Friday night as these Bulldogs will take on the Andover Golden Warriors from down south in Massachusetts. Quick ride up 93. Should be a great tilt, so please join us for that broadcast. Until then, have a great evening.